Good evening, everybody. It's nice to be here once again. I'm going to get to the point. Yes, it's a little bit messy behind me. I'm making this video in a different angle than normally. I'm actually just sitting down. I wanted to talk about the bill in Connecticut that passed 22 to 14 today about ending religious exemptions for schools. I have mixed feelings on that personally. One is I'm against it. Um, I would like to know, and that's another thing, which religions. If you're following this in Connecticut, pay attention to who will be and who eventually won't be, and so forth and so on. Make no mistake, this is a very some would say subtle, but this is an attack. This is absolutely an attack on Christian families and Christian values, or what Christians believe to have values. I'm not going to get the hypocrisy of those who say they have values, but they really don't have those same values. Because, let's face it, for certain Christians, the hypocrites out there, how can you stand up for any of these things and these moral values if you're out doing the same things as the world is doing? It's going to come a time now where you need to put up or shut up, as the old saying goes. Are you going to be willing to sacrifice things? Now, on the other hand, with this, what doesn't bother me is like, okay, this is great. This is more reason for you, if you are truly a person who follows God and a Christian, then you will take your kids out of school. Then I can't do that. Why can't you do that? With all the resources that we have today in this world, why would you not be able to do that? We homeschool our kids here, as I hear my oldest above me walking across the floor. When they're older, they make more noise. Okay, maybe not. Sometimes little ones do too. But you can homeschool. My wife works. I work. She does more work than me because she has to homeschool the kids on most days when I'm not here. And then I will try to fill in where I can. And quite honestly, I could do a little bit more. I was in charge of gym time, um, music, and fun time sometimes, and Bible reading, even though she does Bible stories. But I don't want to go off too far off the track here. Homeschool your kids, and what are the excuses? Can you change a shift at work? I don't know. Can you get a different job? I don't know. If you're anti-mask, as I am, and when I say that, I'll never um, hate you because you're wearing a mask. That doesn't make any sense. You shouldn't hate someone with a mask or without a mask. That's just, well, stupid. It really just comes down to really that blunt. That's just stupid and ignorant. And they say, oh, what about the science? Follow the science. I follow the data, the numbers, the percentages, and those who subscribe to my videos and watch, and those who know me in everyday life outside of this, there's a whiteboard behind me, and I do the videos on these whiteboards with the numbers and the statistics and so forth and so on. And 91% of Connecticut, or under 91% of the population of Connecticut, did not get COVID. Now, with that being said, under a percent died of COVID. So, but there was an article written, and I actually have it on my screen. I came across it, and something interesting she said in this. So I'll be a little unprofessional as I look this up. I'm not doing a professional video, I guess, today. I gotta look for it here. Oh, the proposed legislation would not force children to be immunized, but it would bar unvaccinated kids from enrolling in Connecticut's public and private schools. That sentence was odd to me. I get the public, but if they're private and they don't take any money from the state, I don't see how they have the right to do so. So this is an attack on Christians. There'll be, and most Sorry, those of you who go to church buildings and so forth and so on. Some of you that are in the Baptist ones probably are homeschooling. But most mainstream Christians don't have their kids homeschooled. They're in the public school system. And I never could understand why, if they had the opportunity to take them out, why they wouldn't. Now, my oldest um, was from a previous marriage a long time ago. I briefly talked about that in a video a long time ago. I'll talk about it again. I got nothing to hide on that one, because yes, I am divorced, um, and it was a biblical divorce for the fact that adultery was involved. So, and that's the only, in my opinion, and the way I read the Bible and what it says, that's your only reason. That's it. And I know we can go into the other things about what if the man beats you and all that. I'm not. I'm just saying, for me, it was a biblical divorce, and it is what it is. So he was in a public school system and indoctrinated in a lot of different ways. But there's a foundation, and he has his issues, and maybe he'll get where he's going someday. But we have two younger ones too now, and they have been homeschooled. Um, I say a lot. There's no reason why you shouldn't homeschool. In fact, this should be more reason to homeschool. This state is one of those states that, and where are all the Christians, by the way? The so-called Christians. You allow this to happen. When you look at the majority sometimes, and I see, oh, this large percentage of churches and so forth, I'm like, then we shouldn't have the problems we're in. But the thing is, these are mainstream, secular, worldly Christians, so-called, when they're not. They're not biblical Christians. It is what it is. I mean, it's unfortunate. You can give them all the truth from the Bible they want, but they'll go, well, this author said, this book writer said, Benny Hinn said this, Joyce Meyer said this, Pope Pius IX said this, Pope Pius the Innocent, Ignatius, Ratzenberger, who wrote actually a book, I believe, Catholic Theology or whatever, or Thomas Aquinas. Anyways, I'm not going to go through all of it. Homeschool your kids. It really comes down to being that simple. If you are truly a born-again Christian, and I know there are some who are against the vaccine who are not Christians, and I say to you, why not? True Bible believers, the majority of those Bible believers are actually more on the anti-vax side. And those who are unbiblical or pro. A couple people might make a comment and goes, that's not true. I'm a Christian and my kids, I believe in vaccination. Well, you're going to have to make that decision. But then I'm guessing you're not judging those who don't take the vaccine. There's too much out there. There's too many stories. There's too many nurses. There's too many people who tell you that they don't take the vaccine and they haven't in a long time. I know one nurse. I might have told the story before. She would take the spray up the nose at one time. I'm not familiar with it, but when I was coaching basketball a long time ago, one of the kids' parents was a nurse, and she said she would squeeze it up there, whatever, and she would go to the bathroom right afterwards and blow her nose right out. Because they know. And that was for the flu, not for COVID-19, but they knew. So I am against the fact that this happens, 22-14, 22-14 vote. But there should be a wake-up call for those who thought they were going to change government somehow. No, you're not. They're coming to get you. They're coming to end you. That is their goal. Not going to get right now to where it's coming from. That's not so much government, but that's another story for another time. And knowing me, I'm going to tell it. If you are a Christian, a real born-again Christian, and you really want to follow the Bible, and you really want to follow the Lord, and you want to do God's will, you don't have your kids in public school anyways. They're not there. They're home with you. And if they're not, get them home with you. Been saying that for a long time. If you have the ability to do so immediately. If you don't have the ability to do so, try to figure out how you can. So I appreciate you watching this video, and I will say the words like I always say. I didn't plan on making a video, but when I saw that come across my screen, I was surprised and not surprised all at the same time. And I made a video about autonomous zones and freedom zones. These are those things that happen that are going to push those freedom zones into place. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. God bless. I love you. And take care of your kids before the government takes your kids.